Nutrition fuels our athletic performance and recovery, yet no one can seem to agree on what you should actually eat and at what times for the best performance. In this video, I will break down nutrition in a way that is simple, easy to implement, and boost your performance. Let's start out with what diet is the best. Wait, no, sorry, this is a video about helping you eat better. There is no diet that universally helps everyone. Some people respond better to certain foods and eating patterns, but you must first master the basic principles of good nutrition, and then you can experiment with your body and training routine. My number one rule of nutrition is at least 85% of your food should come from single ingredient whole foods. These are foods that it doesn't make sense to ask what is in them. If you have a steak, an apple, or some almonds, nobody's like, yeah, but what's in that? If you buy an item that has a laundry list of chemical ingredients, natural flavors, or dyes, it doesn't fit into this category. Meat, eggs, fish, fruit, vegetables, nuts, beans, and whole grains should make up most of your diet. I would also consider herbs in the vegetable category, so there is no shortage of flavor if you learn some basic cooking tactics. Nature has provided all the abundance of flavor you could ever want, and YouTube has provided millions of videos on cooking things deliciously. So no excuses. That is it. At least for your health. There are no magic foods or patterns of eating. However, athletes looking to maximize performance do need a few more structured guidelines, but don't worry, they are quite simple. How many meals should you eat per day? Somewhere between 4 and 6 is usually best, and one of those could be more like a snack than a full-fledged meal, as long as it meets the protein requirements. Okay, but 4 or 6 is pretty different, and this is where it depends on you and your schedule. If you like eating more small meals, do that. If not, stick to 4 or 3 meals and one higher protein snack. This is going to depend on you, your practice and game schedule, and how you like to eat pre and post training. Some people can handle eating close to training, and others it just messes with their stomach. Individual differences is why there is no blanket statement. Learn these principles and then experiment to see how you best respond. How do you get in the proper nutrients to your body? Stick to mostly whole foods and aim for the following 6 guidelines. Aim to get 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight each day, and spread this fairly evenly across your meals. Meat, fish, and eggs are going to be the best sources. It is also likely a good idea to get some within an hour of training, at least in the weight room. Nutrient timing though isn't a huge deal, and it may not be one at all as long as you are getting in your total nutrients for the day at reasonably spaced intervals. Aim to eat 2 to 3 servings of fruit and vegetables each per day, and mix up the variety as much as you want. Eat about 20% of your calories from fat per day. At least 1 meal of beef or eggs, or a fattier fish like salmon should do the trick. Our bodies need fat for many bodily functions, including hormone production. Thinking fat is the enemy will hinder your performance. Typically, eat more carbs close to training and more fat further away from training. Fat slows down digestion and nutrient absorption. If you eat a high-fat meal before training, it might still be digesting for your workout. If you eat too high of fat contents post-workout, it may slow down the delivery of protein and other nutrients to your muscles. However, to reiterate, nutrient timing is just not that big of an overall impactor of your performance, and it might not be one at all, given reasonably spread out nutrient intake and overall proper nutrient consumption. So I wouldn't worry about the post-meal too much, and only worry about the pre-meal as it upsets your stomach. For basic hydration, salt your food to taste and drink water consistently throughout the day so your urine is a light shade of yellow. If you have really intense and especially long, sweaty workouts, more salt is going to be needed to replenish the lost electrolytes. Now, this will be covered in greater detail in a standalone video on hydration, so keep an eye out for that. How your body uses nutrients is also largely dependent on your sleep. Getting proper amounts of sleep, at least 8 hours, will help your body better utilize the nutrients that you consume for productive adaptations. Lack of sleep often results in more fat storage and less muscle growth. See our full video on sleep for athletes linked in the card above or linked below in the description. Our bonus tip is to develop a fairly consistent meal routine and structure. This means eating roughly the same foods at roughly the same times of day. Then, once you get used to that, it becomes easy to experiment with slightly different options and see how you respond. If you eat random meals at random times of day, you are unlikely going to know how what you are eating impacts your training and energy levels. Future videos in this Nutrition for Athletes series will include videos on advanced hydration, game day and tournament nutrition, supplementation, and bulking or cutting for athletes. There are some nuances here, and I hate making videos too long for you guys. Master the contents of this video though, and you have better nutrition than than 99% of athletes. This is your meat and potatoes. Everything else either doesn't matter at all or matters very little. From here, it is truly about learning how your body responds to certain foods and its relation to your workouts. If you have any specific questions, please drop them in the comments below and I will get back to you as soon as possible.